Welcome to day one of the last Centre Court event of the year. This is our Centre Court Specialised Masters Festival. And with my co-host, John Byrne, we're spending the next 2 days with the world's best business schools from Europe, from North America, and looking at the incredible range of masters on offer. As you know, with Centre Court, we also have dedicated events to the MBA, but this is all about the Masters in Management, the Masters in Finance, or as we'll be discovering today, a Masters in Analytics and Management. And so to get us off to a great start, it's always a pleasure to welcome Kira Hughes. Kira is the head of Graduate Masters and the Careers Centre at London Business School. The sunshine is streaming in to London. Don't believe what you read on the weather forecasts. And she's joined by a 2021 graduate from that MS Analytics and Management program, Christian Gonda. Christian, who's an IT consultant, he's got a wonderful position lined up with BCG Platinian. He'll tell you all about that and other things that he's done. Might have seen a long time ago since he did his BBA at Notre Dame. But we'll start, Kira, if we can, with you, and perhaps just the bigger picture on London Business School. That the school offers so much. It has such a special place, and how it leverages London and such a dynamic community. So, from your perspective, the school, its values, what you love about it. Tell us about LBS.
Okay, brilliant. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for hosting us again as part of your Centre Court series. It's really great to be here, and welcome everybody that's listening or listening to the recording. So London Business School, obviously one of the top business schools in the world. Really great to be part of your esteemed panelists over the next 2 days. And like you said, we offer a whole host, over 10 different degree programs. The school's been going for close to 60 years, based in the heart of London, so a stone's throw to Regent's Park. We really make the most of our London location, the city being financial, commercial, business epicenter, and also a cultural epicenter. But I think it's London through the view of diversity, because I would say that the majority of our students come to London, if not for the first time, as new people to London, and make their home London during their time at the business school. Obviously today we're focused on our graduate masters programs, or sometimes known as our early careers programs. So different from the MBA, which is more pitched at people with some years of experience. Our graduate masters programs are for those that really are looking to launch their careers. So we have 4 different programs, and they're aimed at people with less than 2 years work experience. So yeah, London spirit with, embracing global diversity. And obviously our ambition, our aim is to provide a leading business education. And if you can forgive me to sound a bit like a marketeer, the mission of the school, if you like, is to have a profound impact on the way the world does business and the way that business impacts the world. So what does that really mean? I think it's about bringing the best teachers to teach the best students like Christian, and to create an amazing, and hopefully Christian will speak to this, but an amazing community of students and alumni who want to have impact in their own ways that make sense to them.
Right. Kira, thank you for getting us started. And you've already alluded to, the many, many different program options, which includes the Sloan program for more senior executives. You've got extraordinary faculty like Linda Grattan, who's saying, if we all live to 100, what are our careers going to look like now? But, you've focused on the early stage career, providing that platform. So for an MSc, whether it's the Masters in Management, it could be the Masters in Analytics and Management that Christian has followed. Tell us a little bit more about those programs and who they're best suited for the diversity of students in the classroom.
Absolutely. Yeah, so we have 4 different programs. So it started over 10 years ago with our Masters in Management. So that's a very long established program. And then we have our Global Masters in Management, which is a 2-year program. So that's open to students who want to do 1 year here with LBS, followed by 1 year with Fudan School of Management in Shanghai. So that's a double degree program. In 2017, I think, well, in 2016, we then launched the Masters in Financial Analysis. So that was building on our experience of working with early graduates on the Masters in Management, but with a finance focus. We've had our Masters in Finance, which is our experienced finance program, for quite a few number of years, ranked #1. We have amazing faculty from the Faculty of Finance, and we wanted to bring that to our early career students as well. And then in 2020, we launched our Masters in Analytics and Management. So it differentiates itself from the general Masters in Management program in that it's really combining data science, analytics, but grounded in business. And that's the program that Christian was a part of and will speak brilliant to. In terms of who they're geared at, as I said, these are very much for people that have less than 2 years work experience. So let's be clear, you can't join if you have over 2 years work experience. You may be more appropriate for one of our other degree programs. That work experience is typically made up of short-term internships, so students that might have done summer internships during their undergrad programs. Some of the students will come straight from undergrad. So they've done their 3 years and they've made a very conscious decision to continue their education. So for some, it may be to specialize further, whether it's in the analytics side or whether it's in the finance side, or for some, it's to broaden or deepen some of the business education they may have gained from an undergraduate, but in a more kind of applied and immersive learning setting at London Business School before then launching into their careers.
Great. Well, Christian, we'll turn to you, because obviously you'd studied business at undergrad at Notre Dame, and a pioneer with the program that launched in 2020. So what was the thinking that you'd had in terms of, going further with the master's degree, perhaps some of the skill sets, versus waiting another 2-3 years and applying to the MBA program at London Business School?
Yeah, thank you so much. I think I completed the Masters in Analytics and Management at London Business School because I wanted to learn 3 things: how to, 1, collect data, B, analyze data, and C, visualize data in a business context. At a time when decision-making in business is increasingly driven by data, I wanted to have that skill set of a detailed understanding of data analytics that's grounded in business. And I thought that was going to help me in an increasingly competitive jobs market. And that was the key decision-making factor for me to complete this program.
Was there an aspect also with your North American background to then bring in London, such a dynamic, vibrant city? Did that play a role in the program choice you made?
Yeah, 100%. So I looked closely at master's programs in the US. And I think if you look at the student community there, they tend to be not as international, I would like to claim, as London Business School. I think the beauty of our school community is that we are so diverse. I studied with people from all across the globe. I'm currently in Greece on vacation, but I'm going to visit one of my best friends from LBS in Athens next week. And that I think richness and diversity was the key decision-making factor for me to come to London Business School.
Well, I'll make a note that the next Centre Court Festival we should clearly host on a Greek island, and then we can all do this live together. I guess, we talk about data, understanding data, being able to apply data in business context. So talk us a little bit through the program and the learning experience, both for those perhaps core quant and analytical skills that you developed, but also on the more personal side, some of the personal skills that have now fed into your career at EY Parthenon and what comes next.
Yeah, absolutely. I think my learning experience was defined by 2 main aspects. One was immersive learning, and 2, I think, was that exposure to real world business problems. So to give you a few examples, I now feel comfortable in supervised learning, forecasting, let's say, housing prices. I can use unsupervised learning to cluster customer groups. I can play with reinforcement learning to optimize robotic process automation. So that deep understanding of how to leverage machine learning in a business context, that is one of the key skills that I acquired at London Business School. And we just spoken about the diversity of our community. You know, when you work closely with people from all across the globe, you understand how to navigate different cultural backgrounds. And that is hugely important in today's business world, which has helped me tremendously at EY Parthenon. So again, I think that exposure to real world business problems and that applied learning at London Business School was key for me to accelerate my learning experience.
Here we often talk about the MBA and incredible levels of career support. Now, this is at an early stage, and Christian is a wonderful example of the opportunities that have opened up for him. But tell us how you accompany all of that, you know, hard skills and technical skills learning with the career side and the support as Christian and others are exploring their next steps.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would definitely say Christian's like one of our model students. And it's a real pleasure to be on this call with him because Christian actually did his MAM during lockdown. So it was during the 2021 year. So I never actually got to meet Christian in person until after he'd graduated, which just feels really weird to think about now. But in terms of Career Centre and Career Centre support that all of our master's students get access to, so whether you're on the MAM, the MFA and the MIM, it's exactly the same level of support that we provide. It is not an accredited part of the course. We've specifically chosen to keep it unaccredited, and it really is for the student to choose what makes most sense to them and to engage in the elements that make most sense to them. So we start early. We actually start before the program starts because 12 months goes very quickly. I should have said the programs are 12 months long, but the time goes very quickly when you consider all that you're having to do during that period. And when you put the recruitment side of things and the career development side of things on top of that. So we start before the program starts and we run a summer support series. And that's where we can just start to get the students to lay the foundations for their career work. So that's really giving them the tools so they get access to our online platform. We try to do as much blended learning as possible. So giving students access to online learning that can then be supplemented by in-person career skills delivery. They will have tools that will help them do some self-reflection. So there is some work that has to be done by the student in terms of really trying to understand from the experiences that they have had so far, what it is that they're looking for in their career, what their values are, what kind of environments they want to be a part of, what kind of skills they have that are of value to employers and the ones that they want to continue to use or to develop further. And then we also work with them on things like CVs. So starting to get them to think in a marketing sense, how they can start matching, you know, what they know of themselves and what they want with what's available in the marketplace. So starting them to give them access to information around different sectors, different jobs, different roles that are open to them and that they might want to explore further. And then when they join the program, we do a lot of skills workshops with them, continuing to take them through the exploration phase. So they will be able to meet with employers, different employers on campus through presentations, through skill sessions, or through careers fairs throughout the year, but a lot will happen in the autumn term. And that will help them again to identify different job opportunities available to them. And then we work with them on things like their career story, their career narrative. So how they sort of piece together what they've done in the past and why they've then chosen to study at LBS and study the MAM, with why that then means they want to work within, I don't know, blockchain or whatever it might be, or for a Web3 focused VC. And we prepare them for interviews and the competitive recruitment processes that they will encounter. So as I said, it's not an accredited part of the program, but what we do is we ask our students, we've introduced something called a recruitment readiness survey, which we get our students to do sort of day one of the course. And it's really there chance to self-assess against key recruitment and career development skills. So how confident they feel about how they sell themselves, how confident they feel about their network, reaching out within their networks, how confident they feel about different career opportunities. And using that information, they can then tailor the support that makes the most sense to them. So then we'll map that to the skills that we deliver, so that they can choose. Because like I said, whilst our students are all less than 2 years experience, there is still, even within that, quite a wide range of experience that our students come with. And some will have come from undergraduate schools where they will have done a lot of career work already and probably don't need, you know, a lot of our help. They've already decided, I'm going to be, I don't know, a financial analyst or whatever it might be. Whereas others are, you know, are in more need of our help. On top of the career skills, we offer one-to-ones, and I think that's really the gem of our service. I mean, I love conducting one-to-ones. It's not that I don't like workshops, but it's really where you get to know the student and you get to check in regularly with them to see where they are with their career thinking, and act as coaches to support them on continuing to take actions and move forward. They don't just have one-to-ones with career coaches like myself, they get access to one-to-ones with our sector advisors and our sector leads. So we're very fortunate in that we have quite a large career centre at London Business School. There's over 40 permanent members of staff, which is really quite phenomenal. And we have an employer engagement team that works with employers in the market, but also with students. So they bring back the insights from those employers to share with students and to help students understand what's required of them if they are interested in, you know, for Christian's example, in consulting, or for others, it will be within fintech or within private equity, for example. And then again, the benefit of London Business School is that we're a postgraduate only school. So our students, our graduate masters, get access to mentoring and advice from our experienced students. So those great MBAs that you spoke of, the Sloan students who have, you know, 15, 20 years experience, as well as our exec MBA students. We recruit about 80 of those every year and train them in kind of coaching and guidance skills to be able to share the experience that they've had in the past, because a lot of them will have come from great careers themselves. So again, whether it was working within tech firms or within consulting, and they can share that with our students depending on, you know, the student's interest.
Christian, the viewers at Centre Court know that I was definitely scratching my head at the age of 20 in terms of career. I might still be scratching my head today. But Kira talked about storytelling and, you know, the different pieces of your experience. So coming into the programme, how did Career Services help you and support both, you know, opening doors, creating internship or post experience? You've already got the Big Four and MBB on your resume. So, you know, how did that play out to really provide that level of insight and support?
Yeah, I think, you know, without the LBS Career Services team, I wouldn't be in my dream profession, at my dream company, in my dream city. And you know, the reason for me was because I came from a tech background and I wanted to transition into strategy consulting. And that's sometimes a little bit difficult to explain to recruiters. But I think Kira and her team helped me through three main ways. One, through one-to-one coaching, where she helped me to really identify my career objectives and clearly articulate my transferable skills from technology that I could use in strategy consulting. Two, I think they tremendously helped me with interview prep. We had lots of mock interviews, simulated assessment centers, and tips to tailor my CV for consulting. And finally, I think Kira and her team helped me to connect with alums from a vast range of companies. So I think these three pieces really helped me in my recruitment journey: one-to-one coaching, interview prep, and networking opportunities.
I'm sure, Kira, if I asked EY and BCG, you know, what they saw in Christian, I mean, do employers say to you, and this is something that we love about LBS students, are there certain characteristics that come back again and again?
Well, yes, there must be, because the same employers come back again and again to see our students. Absolutely. Yeah, I think the question is what do the employers like about our LBS students? Well, obviously, the academic credentials. It's not easy to get onto any of our programs, and our recruitment and admissions team do a great job at finding students like Christian. So already, academically accomplished. And then obviously the skills and the academics that they continue to learn whilst here at LBS are incredibly sought after. But I would say it's kind of beyond that almost. It's really interesting when you welcome the students on sort of day one of orientation. It's always the day after the bank holiday in August. You see them and you think, oh, there's a little bit of growing that needs to happen with these students. But then by the end of it, when you're at their congregation in July, they just look like completely different people. And it's, like I said, that 12 months goes incredibly quickly, but it's amazing what change you see in the students. So I think there's a level of maturity, there's a level of polish that definitely gets spoken about and fed back from our students from employers with regards to our students. They're very well prepared for recruitment processes, but they just also have this level of thinking and level of insight that I think sets them apart. And again, it's really, I suppose, what business school is about. It's about opening the mind. You get a broad education, but it's really about teaching students how to think, how to piece things together and make sense of that within a business context. And we know from organizations like the Institute of Student Employers, actually the top skill or quality, if you like, that graduate employers are looking for is passion for the business and commercial awareness. And you get that in spades at London Business School, at all business schools, but then it's also your communication skills, your critical thinking, and your ability to work within teams and make impact. And I think, the way in which the courses are taught, you are set up in a team, a student group, a syndicate group, where you're with 5 or 6 other students that you've not met before, that are all from different backgrounds, so undergraduate degree backgrounds and different cultures and nationalities, and you have to get work done. There is no option but getting, working well within a study group. So I think, that's what we get told by our employers that they really appreciate from London Business School students.
As you think about day one, Christian, and then graduating, 12 months that went by so fast, the growth, the personal development, what for you perhaps were some of the most valuable parts of the experience?
Yeah, great question. I think the most valuable experience for me was a 4-week capstone project, which we call London Lab at London Business School, where a couple of students come together and we help a real company solving a real world business challenge. And for me, that was helping one of the world's leading luxury department stores in London with customer segmentation. So essentially, we applied all the things that we picked up in our machine learning and data science classes and helped that client end to end, from data collection to data analysis to data visualization. And that was definitely my most valuable experience from an academic, practical viewpoint, but also, meeting people from all across the world, finding friends from all across the world. That was also one of the highlights of my program for sure.
Yeah, well, your enthusiasm is palpable. I can see why Kira sees you as this wonderful ambassador. For our audience who, perhaps in their final years of undergrad, thinking about next steps, what would your advice to be, whether considering a specialized master's, analytics and management as you followed, or more general, and that investment in yourself to head back to business school?
Yeah, I would strongly advise prospective students to answer the exam question, how they think this degree helps in achieving short-term and long-term career objectives, because let's face it, a degree at a top-tier business school is not an inexpensive investment. So you want to know the kind of business case that you engage with. So knowing your objectives, what you want to get out of the degree, I think is necessary to really make the most out of it. So I wanted to leave tech and transition into strategy consulting. And that helped me to allocate my resources during my time at LBS, such as time, more effectively. So that exam question, what you want to get out of the degree, I think that is my number one advice.
Got it. Well, I'm mindful of time, but it's been such a joy just letting both of you talk about the school and its impact, the experience that you've had. I'd love to share a drink in Greece to find out more, Christian. But I mean, Kira, in terms of our viewers finding out more about the analytics and management program, but so much else that's going on with school, just very quickly, how do we connect with you and the different touch points that are available?
Yeah, lots of different ways. I would encourage, to help answer the question that Christian was talking about, everyone should download our employment reports and really look through the different career outcomes. But remember that those career outcomes are a snapshot in time, and that there is a real long-term payback on the investment for a master's program. We have lots of events going on, and you don't have to be in London to join the events. A lot of the events are hybrid and virtual. I think there's more coming up in December. So come to one of our events where you'll hear from faculty, you'll hear from Career Centre, and you hear from student ambassadors. You can also reach out to student ambassadors. I really do think you want to find out about more than just our perspective of London Business School. Ask as many people as you can. Our alumni community are really, really giving. So, don't be afraid to reach out to some that perhaps went to your undergrad school and did a master's at London Business School, and reach out to them and ask them, a couple of questions around their experience that will help them decide. And then our RNA team are always traveling around major cities to advertise the program. So go online to find out where the next events will be.
Well, Kira, we welcome you to every Centre Court Festival. It's always a delight to have you with us. And Christian, mindful of the new role that you start in January with BCG Platinian. Been a difficult year for private equity. I'm sure that now with those clusters and business models that you're running, you'll have great impact in your work. But it was a real treat to have you with us for the Centre Court Masters Festival. So both of you, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.